Yes, you should stand up. Your turn now. Come on up to the microphone. Ask away.
I know it's so mind-boggling, isn't it? To see actors from 33 years ago, yeah.
I've been watching the movie since I was like 15 years old. This is a dream come true, but...
You should eventually stop watching the movie. Haven't you gotten to the end already? I'm sorry to interrupt.
You realize it actually become a nightmare.
Actually, Bruce, in your first book, you had mentioned the evils of Karo syrup. And I was just wondering if any of you, it doesn't have to be about Karo syrup, but do any of you ever have like any horror stories of your own involving fake blood?
Well, I think I'll pass the microphone along here. We can share. My finest moment was being covered in Karo syrup, and I just would go to stretch, so my clothes were covered in Karo syrup, so everything stuck to every hair on my arm. So I would go to scratch my head, and I would just see all the hair that is no longer attached to my arm. And so that's my hilarious, fun story.
Well, the thing is, we didn't have any running water in the cabin where we were shooting, so it wasn't like we could go wash our hands. So it was fun putting in those contacts in our eyes with Karo syrup blood all over our fingers. That was nice.
Yeah, not only did we not have running water, we didn't have, little packets of handy wipes even to wash our hands. So a lot of times at the end of the night, when we were all covered in Karo syrup, there'd be this secret vigilante, effort to get out of the cabin first, which was often achieved by my cohort here, so that they could go into a hot shower and then use up all the hot water, or a nice long bath, and then by the time Bruce got home, there was no hot water left.
She's complaining about me using the hot water. I had to sleep on the cot, okay?
And
she had a bed. I had the cot.
And another
I
thing.
think I deserved a little hot water. What do you think?
Does anybody here have any more Bruce Campbell complaints? Raise your hand. Now's the time to grieve them.
My only Karo syrup story was last night they said, what was your favorite time in the filming? My favorite time, reflecting back now, was when Sam said cut on the very last scene when I'm crawling on the floor. Because both Bruce and I had to do it, 3 or 4 times. At least 3. And each time we had to reset, we had to peel ourselves up off the floor, shirt sticking to skin, shirt sticking to floor, skin sticking to everything else. Brutal. That was my favorite time.
Sam came up and they had this major problem. There was no more Karo syrup within a 100-mile radius. They had literally bought out every bit of Karo syrup that was there.
Well, Bart, we would go shopping. I'd go shopping in Morristown, Tennessee for Karo syrup.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you got? Give me your stuff. Oh, we have a couple bottles of it. No, lady, you don't get it. Like, go in the back and I need like a stack of this shit. I need a case of it. Well, y'all making just a big cake, whatever? Yeah, really big cake. Yeah, we need. Oh, and where's your red food coloring? Not the little cute 4-bottle assortment. I need the single red bottles, lady, and I need, bring it on. You don't have enough. Well, I could call around. Yeah, call around, because we gotta have it now.
And you'd order all that stuff in one condom.
Danny Hicks is referring to in Evil Dead 2, because we had what they call bladder effects, where things had to squish and goo, they would often use condoms and fill them full of gooey stuff that would squirt out. So there was a very sexy makeup effects assistant who had to go to the store and buy a case of condoms and a case of KY jelly. And that went really well for her.
When they finally killed me, when Henrietta drugged me down into the cellar to chew me up, they went through 55 gallons of blood in, I think, like 33 seconds. They had a 3-inch fire hose. And the first time we did it, the hose was not aimed correctly. So it went up, hit the trap door, and I was hanging upside down from a trapeze. It hit the trap door and then went right up my nose. So I damn near drowned. And then the fun thing was, of course, now we have to do it again.
Danny, wait, let me add to that. In Evil Dead 2, there's a part where Ash cuts his hand off because it got possessed, you know, because it was bitten by his possessed girlfriend, so he cuts it off. It's running around, he's shooting at it, and then eventually blood comes out of the holes and into my face directly at 1,000 gallons a second. So in order to achieve that, everything is turned sideways. So I'll give you a quick example here. Sam wanted the water, the blood to come straight out of the hole, not dip down. Convection, you know, standard pressure, it would come out and then drop. Sam wanted to go like 8 feet from the hole into my face without stopping. The only way to do that is turn the whole set sideways. So you're the camera now. I'm lying on a board. Turn your head sideways that way. Now I'm standing up straight, right? Do you understand the logic here? So there's a 55-gallon drum above me, directly above me. And they're gonna pull a cork. And so Sam, being the safe director that he is, goes to the effects guy, how long is this gonna take? And the effects guy, he shrugs. How the fuck do I know? I don't know. 55 gallons worth. And so Sam goes, all right, Bruce, for safety, if you're drowning, wave your arms. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to do that anyway. He goes, then shut up and just do it. It'll end eventually. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, it'll end eventually. That's his form of safety. You will stop drowning eventually. And so for the next week, anytime I blew my nose, it was either the one nostril had red blood that had forced itself up my nostrils permanently. The other one had black blood, because again, Sam can't do one color, he's got to do 3 colors, so you have to do this 87 times. So that's my addition to this heinous story.
But I kind of feel left out of this Karo syrup stuff. If you, well, see my character now, Thou Shalt Not Kill, Army of Darkness, my name is Bruce. Nobody inflicted pain on me. I kicked ass in all those movies.
Yeah, but that's because of the cruelty to animals law. So that's the only reason we did that.
Come on up to the mic a little farther, that's it.
Somebody give her a chair.
Half of us.
You know, we're just going to take care of this right now. Yeah, excuse me, ma'am. Step back. Step back.
Testing, check. 1, 2, check, testing. See, that's why they get the big money.
Okay.
We're professionals.
Ask away, young lady.
In Evil Dead, when the body's melting, what did you use to make the scene? Like, it looks like spoiled milk and stuff, because there's like all kinds of...
I would think I would maybe been the only person to really think about an MPAA rating, and I thought if they're puking up blood all the time, it might disturb people and give us an R rating or something. I didn't know. And so I thought that, what if you had them like spit out yellow and green, and we could use milk and some blood? And Sam went with that. And then
Yeah, good idea, Tom. It was NC-17.
Yeah. But I was thinking it would make it look as though their biology had actually changed. So now they've got weird biles coming up and stuff. And we're gonna have 6-packs of that stuff.
Actually, there's a story. I love this story. It was when we had Teresa chopped up and all on the floor. Is that it was really bloody. It was really bloody, and we basically all looked at each other and we said, they're never going to let us show this. And so we went around and put black over top of all of the blood, just so we, you know, they'd let us show it, which they didn't for years.
Was that when Sam was sleeping at the camera? When I was nailed under the floor?
When Sam was sleeping using that. Does that answer your question? Did they address it at all? It doesn't sound like it to me.
Like, what ingredients? Like,
What ingredients?
What was it?
Let's get back to the meltdown.
The actual meltdown.
And this is the actual meltdown? Well, in the meltdown, everything was clay, and we didn't, what it was, it was that stuff we gushed out of the skulls.
We had oatmeal.
It was oatmeal
with food coloring.
with food coloring and snakes and cockroaches.
By the way, Tom, they were not normal cockroaches. for some reason we had to go to Michigan State University to get Madagascar cockroaches. These freaking things are this big, you go near them, they go psst. My God, the thing is like a troglodyte. It's like,
They have license plates.
yeah, they're just nasty. They're like, why do you need these anyway? Just making a little film.
I remember this because my wife told me when we started shooting with the giant roaches and stuff, she goes, "You're not shooting in my house with this." So we had to go in the garage and shoot those. We had roach wranglers. But additionally, we did have, I think it was cow guts or pig guts, which Tom was throwing out of the body. He was the hands.
No. I made the guts out of mangling marshmallows together, and I had a big powder.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It was actually pretty good. No, we didn't use the real stuff.
Hey guys, that's really nice and everything. But like the
Now does that answer your
no,
question?
the end sequence where in Ash, when all this crap of your harmless little, oatmeal shit is done, the crap that comes into my face, that comes bursting from their bodies and splashes into my face, is Alpo dog food. Yeah. Sam looked at that like, I gotta see this smash in Bruce's face. I gotta see that. So,
Bruce, did you actually ever get any in your mouth?
Yeah, it wasn't bad actually. It was the chunky chicken, I think.
Okay, he asked, how did we like doing Evil of Darkness? That was his first question, which is an Italian horror movie based on the Evil Dead series. And the second part of your question, Signore?
Yeah, it was so long ago, wasn't it?
Which one was our favorite? Okay, everybody got some?
Each film has a different tone. Evil Dead 1 is scary and dark humor. Evil Dead 2 is scary and humor. And number 3 is like a Three Stooges kind of thing. And even if I hadn't worked on it, I think I prefer the first one. I like that. I like the balance of that. But it's like each film has something for everybody. So like everybody's got a different favorite. And I think that's one of the strengths of the series.
Which is different than Night of the Evil Evening.
I know everyone took a lot of pain through Evil Dead, but out of hearing all of you talk and at the party last night, who took the most pain?
Bruce.
Please.
I think we shared it equally.
It is interesting that we're having a pain discussion.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think the moral of the story is the Evil Dead movies were basically beat the crap out of anybody who came near them, including
I agree.
audience. So I think it's safe to say that everybody here in some form or another witnessed shame, indignation, pain,
humiliation.
Swollen testicles.
Why Danny would like to talk about the swollen testicles later. Yeah.
He asks, during all this abuse, did any of us get Sam?
Sam got himself. Yeah. There's a scene in Evil Dead 2 where we called it the Samo Cam, where he took an old World War II 35mm camera that actually winds up. You go to the top of the mountain, and of course it's midnight, it's pitch black out. And he'd run as fast and as far down the mountain as he could until he fell. And then he'd roll and crash into a tree, and then get up and do it again. So Sam took care of himself. He beat the shit out of himself.
There's a sequence at the end of Evil Dead 2 where there's a deadite that comes down and some soldiers are there and the thing swipes at them. It was a sequence that got cut out, but Sam didn't like what the stunt guy did. And this is in a kaolin pit. Any of you from the South, they mine kaolin because it's in erasers and chalk and things like that. So it's a big bare pit with very hard ground and very steep slopes. And Sam's like, I didn't like what that stunt guy did. Put me in a soldier's uniform. Okay, yeah. So Sam's up there fighting with some fake thing that they're gonna put in later. Hurls himself down the side of the hill. This is the guy who's directing the movie. He's just wham, boom, blah, blah, blah. He comes limping back up. That wasn't quite right. God, he's like cursing himself, and he swipes at the monster, he gets hit again, he falls, poo, 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 poo. next day he comes up to me. Bruce, it's kind of bad when there's blood in your urine, right? But yeah, Sam, stop doing that. Maybe the blood will stop. So Sam never
It's
pushed
funny because
anybody.
he asked me the same thing, and I said, no, it's perfectly normal.
After you threw yourself down to the pond.
Yeah, we're down to
Normal.
the Sam.
There was a great concern for Sam, though, when we were shooting that dismemberment sequence. Sam passed out. Sam making that movie. He'd stay awake all night and shoot, and then during the daytime when he was supposed to sleep, he wrote and he rewrote, and then he discussed things. So he was going 24 hours a day. On that sequence, he passed out, and we had a great deal of concern for him, so we took an ice-cold bucket of water and threw it at him. And then we walked around and said, well, I guess he's not going to get up. And we left him there.
Come up to the microphone. Faster. That's it.
Good hustle.
No, thank you. I just want to know, I know you all take your jobs very seriously, but was there any, were there any, pranks played on each other in the off time?
I think we were all too tired.
We were too
by the time we got
exhausted
home.
for pranks, you know.
First of all, clean the ants off.
No, I think the actual filming was a prank.
Let me just explain something, sir. The illegal substance known as marijuana was somehow forced upon us in Tennessee. Now, these savages down there in Tennessee, we're all from Michigan, we're very civilized people. From large cities, we have fewer guns, but some guns. The rest of the guns are in Tennessee. And illegal substance known as marijuana, sir. I was forced to ingest this marijuana by a local reprobate, and I therefore became, let's just say, affected by THC, the main ingredient. I therefore lost any sense of time and where I was at that particular moment. That's the time in which Sam Raimi decided that he needed to shoot Ash having a breakdown. So I was dragged outside and told that, Bruce, we're gonna shoot a sequence where you're very upset, see? You're very upset. And you need to work off some tension. So take this axe here and chop into this stump as much as you can. And I want it to build. Let it start at first. You don't know what to do at first, but you see an axe and a stump. And you're gonna make the connection of, well, maybe I'll just take out my anxiety on this stump. I'm not making any of this up, by the way. And so we proceeded for about 45 minutes for me to film what I felt was the best scene I had ever filmed, committed to cinematic history. And I thought it went quite well. And then I heard some snickering and then more snickering, and it turned out that the entire rest of the crew and cast who had not ingested the illegal substance that I was forced to ingest, they thought that was particularly funny, and the footage, it was filmed in fact. So it does exist, there is a negative somewhere of that illicit behavior on film, but it was not as bad as Fats Derringer. Fats Derringer came up, we stayed awake for the last 3 days of shooting because we had to get the hell off that property because they were so sick of us, we were wrecking everything. They're like, get out, take your crap and get off of our property. We had wrecked everything. So, but this guy, Fats Derringer, he had a bullet hole in his car. And he was from a wet county. In Tennessee, there are dry counties and there are wet counties. Wet counties means you can drink your face off. It doesn't matter. That's where Fats Derringer was from. Fats heard that we were making a movie. So Fats showed up. No one could get down this driveway, by the way. This is a half-a-mile driveway. It was complete 6 inches of mud at this point of filming. Fats somehow in his Dodge Charger got down to the bottom of the driveway. And Fats was drunk off his ass, demanding that he had to be in this movie. So we were as delirious as he was drunk. So Sam Raimi went, okay, Fats, we're gonna make you a movie star. Come on, Fats, let's go. And he kept saying it like, come on, Fats, let's do it. Fats' kid, meanwhile, was 3 years old and was running around outside going, goddamn some bitch, goddamn some bitch, goddamn some bitch. This little kid knew goddamn some bitch. He knew 4 words. Goddamn some bitch. And Fats thought that was the funniest thing he had ever seen in his life. Fortunately, Sam Raimi tormented Fats to the end of his days. He made him reenact a scene from an amateur movie that Sam did called The Happy Valley Kid, where the student is coming up to the professor and he's delivering something, and so we made Fats act and we filmed it. And that footage also exists of a very inebriated, strange redneck son of a bitch from Tennessee. And, but nothing weird happened during the making of the movie.
And Evil Dead 2, and
the mic, will you? That's the whole point.
Evil Dead 2, and what was it, Evil of Darkness, right? Was there any scenes in there or anything that you guys felt really queasy doing? I mean, anything to kind of make your stomach churn?
Gee, Ellen, anything come to mind?
I think he was asking about Evil Dead 2, right?
Well, any of them, all 3.
The whole movie made my stomach churn. Yeah, it was, let's see, holding the whatever kind of crap I spat out of my mouth, but you had to hold it in your mouth until he was ready to, start the scene. So you're kind of going. And I think Betsy, when you spit out milk, didn't you spit it right into the camera?
Yeah, I was pretty upset by then, and I think that was just prior to the time then when Sam and Bruce said, well, after this scene, we're going to hit you over the head with just some styrofoam boards. And I could see 4 guys unloading them one at a time from the truck, so that I knew they just weren't styrofoam boards, so, yeah.
I was actually here yesterday for the Q&A with Bruce. It's not really a question.
Well, good for you. That makes us all really happy.
Well, I really want to know.
Why are you back?
What's your question?
I'm back because I want $1 from Bruce.
You want $1 or you want $1?
He was giving out money yesterday, and I want $1 so I could put that up on a frame or something from Bruce.
You know what? The only problem is
Are you trying to look for
he doesn't pay.
He doesn't pay.
No, Bruce owes a lot of people a lot of money in this. Like 100, 350,
Look at the poor bastard. He's only got half a sock on.
Well, Bruce, you gonna give the man his buck or not?
Wait a second. Are you here for more money?
I didn't get any.
You didn't get any?
I didn't get any.
I promised you money, I never gave it to
You
you?
didn't promise me, no. I just wanted it.
I got a quarter I can contribute.
No. Let's give the man his $1. Okay.
Yeah, get out and dance on that. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Anybody else want any money or anything? Put your damn hands down.
Make it rain.
All right. Who will ask a question for these folks back here? Who's got one? Yes, you. Come on up.
And it better be good.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
That's your question. See ya.
Now, come on up. Ask your question. Go ahead.
All right.
Sir, could you please come back with a black t-shirt on next time? Thank
It's
you.
the only white t-shirt I brought, so.
Yes, apparently. The only white t-shirt in the room.
I need a black swimming.
And pull your zipper up.
Equinox. Is there any? I've heard that that's been compared to some of the ideas of the Evil Dead. Do you guys know anything about that? Can I take that one? I believe and I'm really sure Sam had was seen at the time. It's a really low budget film. Dennis Muren, who went on to get, I don't know, 14,000 Oscars for directing the effects for ILMs, you know, and stuff. It was a low budget film, but it kind of has the same elements. But Sam hadn't seen it. I was the only one it had. And, but it's, I think, just the nature of the low budget story where you have just a small group of actors and they're out in the middle of the woods and there's supernatural forces around them. Yeah. But the Book of the Dead in Sam's script was described as having some kind of animal skin with a few letters from an ancient alphabet on it, and I didn't think that sounded very you know, scary or anything. It sounded like a high school, you know, photo album or something. Yeah. And it's also the description of the book in Equinox. So I had this idea of the most disgusting thing I'd heard was Ilse Koch. They made the she-devil of the Nazi things. And, but the real woman actually had prisoners skinned and made lampshades, book covers, and curtains out of their skin. And that was the most disgusting thing. So I thought, we need to put some skin on the human skin on this. And of course, you need an identifiable body part. And I wasn't going to put a schlong on it, so I chose a face. But that's the story of that.
All right, folks, that's it. I want to thank the panel here.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I never showed up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, let's give the signer a hand.
Hey, you know what I'm going to see how you guys like it. Watch it. Oh, you like that? Yeah, I like that. Oh, can I take your picture? Can I take your picture? I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. Let me take your frickin' picture. There. All right, good. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ted's had a lot of coffee. Yeah.
Bruce, what are you drinking?
What's a gin?
No, it really kind of just evolved while they were out there because Rob and Sam, you know, thought it might be brilliant to add that extra little touch. And I was, you know, freezing and tired and scraped and you know, I just went, okay, fine, just nobody's ever gonna see this movie anyway, so just, whatever.